Hello and welcome to this week's vlog. Now then, Halloween has been and gone. Hope you had a good one. We don't very often get, well, I say don't very often, we never get trick-or-treaters at our house, but we always buy sweets just in case anyone comes. Because it's a night for children to have fun, and we like to sort of always have something for them, but nearly every year no one ever comes, so we end up with a whole tub of sweets that we just basically don't want. Well, depends what the sweets are. This year we bought marshmallows in the shape of ghosts and terrifying pumpkins. Unfortunately, no little children came to the door asking for sweeties, and therefore we never got to give away any of our terrifying ghosts and pumpkins. So as at this moment at home I have a big tub of them, uneaten. I meant to bring them into work today, to be honest, because they're a little bit sickly. I mostly like sweets, especially marshmallows, but these ones are vanilla flavoured and they're so sweet that they're basically a bit disgusting. So there you go, good old Tesco's. Spooky pumpkins, they're just a little bit too much sugar in them. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to bring them in, plonk them on the desk and see how quickly they go down. There's got to be someone that likes overly sweet vanilla marshmallows after all. Now, I'm all for recycling. I love my recycling. It's brilliant. And it's amazing what you can recycle these days. But of course, everything can be reused. But today, we got rid of our old Mac Pro. It has now gone off to cash for my Mac, which sounds terribly exciting, and it went off by a delivery from my work today, and so hopefully in a couple of days time we should get some money for our old computer whilst they tear it apart, break all its pieces up and use them for something else, something very exciting, no doubt. You never know what it could be. Might just end up in another computer. There you go, that's life. But see, because the new Mac Pro is coming now, I don't know if you've seen the adverts for this. I have. I think they're really exciting. The new Mac Pro, just in case you haven't seen it, is going to be cylindrical. It's going to be very futuristic, in my opinion. Rather exciting. Evidently extremely powerful. And quieter than ever before, which is nice. Because, there's nothing quite so pleasant as having a computer that makes no noise at all in the corner of your room, and you always forget it's there. All that power, so little sound. The truth is, technology is great, and I've still got my top shirt button done up, ladies and gentlemen, like Mr. Monk from that American Detective series, who always has, and for some reason I can't undo my top shirt button. There we go. Thing is, I just took my tie off, because I get this thing where I happily wear my tie all day at work and I forget I'm wearing it. I'm making dinner. I've still got my tie on. I don't need to be dressed smartly for making dinner. So anyway, gotta go because I have breakfast burritos to make. Now, I have something of a passion for trains, partly from the fact that I grew up opposite a railway line, and I sort of inherited, I think, because my great-grandfather was a conductor on the old steam trains when they were under British Rail, and they used to run down to Dover. Was the line he worked on from Faversham. So, it's kind of in my blood a bit as well. And it's anything to do with trains I love. And so I saw a couple of weeks ago a copy of Microsoft Train Sim 13 in the shop. And I thought, that's fun, we can run Microsoft on my MacBook Pro. And so put that on and fine. So it took a couple of goes to get the partitioning to work properly, but we did in the end. Put Windows 8, put the actual software on, and it just, the fan of my poor little MacBook Pro was whirring around. It couldn't cope, it's a huge piece of software. So, abandoned that idea, which was a shame to start with, because it had some quite good roots on it, and a particularly lifelike recreation of the London to Brighton line. Anyway, so then I put Trains for Mac on there, so something that should work properly. And in fact it does, and it's really quite cool. I like trains arguably better because it's more like a model railway set, really, and you can play with it so much more easily. And so this weekend I was exploring one of the pre-designed layouts that are on it. And I was really surprised. There's one which is the East Coast Main Line, which, in case you don't know, is the official railway term for the line from London to York and Edinburgh. Very, very long stretch of intercity route, with branches off to Skegness and Cleethorpes up in the northeast in Lincolnshire. So I got myself I put a train on the track, started a session, and then I realised how huge this layout is. It's massive. It took me about 45 minutes to go, which I suppose it would in the real world as well, from Skegness on the coast to Grantham, which is like inland on the main railway line. And then I looked at the map to see how much of this layout there was, and it's massive. It covers the whole of Lincolnshire, which is a lot. It's a big county. All the lines going all the way out to Cleethorpes, and I realised that this is virtually, you could get so immersed in the world of trains, I mean, you really could. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. But if you've got something like that, why not have fun with it? Christmas is coming, and that means only one thing. It's time to start getting in the chocolate. Oh yes, because you know that when Christmas comes, it's time to eat all those sweets you don't really need. But because it's Christmas, you gotta have them. You got your York fruit, your matchmakers, and for me, the king of all chocolate treats and temptations at Christmas is the magical, mysterious, and mythical After Eight. Which, of course, you can eat at any time of the day. It really is that flexible. I've even seen a recipe for using After Eights as a really, really cheap form of icing on a fairy cake. Put one on the top and shove it in the microwave. I've never done it, but I imagine it would taste quite nice. But on the subject of Christmas sweets, there are very few that I don't really like. I mean, from fruit jellies to chocolates to fudgies to all that kind of stuff. But there is one that I truly don't, and it is, I'm sorry to say, the humble date. Yes, every Christmas my nan would have on the table, in the main room, a little tub of Eat Me brand dates. They're called Eat Me. And the thing was that we'd have all the lovely quality streets and the chocolates and that were on the tree. There'd be matchmakers, there'd be little fruit jellies, there'd be every kind of chocolate you can imagine. And this little tub of dates no one would ever touch because we didn't really like them very much, to be honest. Despite the fact that the poor things were sitting there advertising themselves with massive letters, Eat Me, on the top. It was like, oh, but nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. Nobody wants to eat you. I mean, really. But to be fair, I did once have at Christmas a fig. And figs are nice. So I guess the logic is if I like figs, I should like dates as well. But they're just a bit too sticky and you know what I mean, like they stick to the inside of your mouth. And the texture's a bit weird. It's the same reason why I don't like glacé cherries. They've got this weird plasticky texture that sort of doesn't quite work somehow. But give me an After Eight mint and I'm happy. Well, that is all we have time for this week, but we'll see you again next time. So have a fantastic week, whatever you're doing, and bye for now.